1, 2,
3, 4, 5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10, 11.
12.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sierra, and today I want to discuss the topic of foster care. Did you know nearly 500,000 children are in our U.S. foster care system? Nearly 20,000 of those children age out. Aging out means that when they turn 18, they no longer have a place to call their home. They no longer have a family to turn to. And this is an issue because as a young adult, we need somebody, even if it's just somebody to talk to. According to adoptuskids.org, half of these children that age out end up unemployed by the age of 24. This is an issue for all of us because nearly $8 billion of our tax burden comes from these children that end up on the welfare system or end up incarcerated. As these kids get older and they have families of their own, many who end up having children at a young age themselves, they end up repeating the same cycle that they learned through the foster care system, and that continues on through their kids. Now, all of this is a problem, mostly because when these kids end up aging out and they have no place to turn to, they end up homeless. With half of those children ended up unemployed, and then you've got many of them ending up homeless. You end up having more of the tax burden. Some of these kids end up incarcerated, and one solution that I have is if we were to open up our homes and our hearts to these children and either adopt or foster, we would have less burden on the system. If you can't adopt or foster, there are other solutions though. You can donate money and supplies to the foster care system and supply them with clothes and school supplies and books and different things that they need. If you can't donate money and supplies, you can donate your time. Many of these kids need mentors and somebody to talk to when life does get tough. Another solution, one thing I find interesting is that there are over 300,000 churches in the U.S. With that being said, if one family from each of these churches were to adopt a child in the foster care system, we would have no need for the foster care system. Another option is our married couples. If only 1% of the entire nation's married population were to adopt a child from the foster care system, again, we would have no need for the foster care system. According to Statista.com, there are 61 million married couples in the U.S. Now, there are many reasons why people choose to not adopt, whether they don't want kids or they do want kids, but they have different thoughts about adoption. Now, adopting from other countries, if you want a baby, it's extremely expensive. But if you choose to adopt from the foster care system, it's really affordable. In fact, it's actually free. And for any cost you do have, it can be reimbursed. There are tax credits and there are other fundings that you can go through. Another thing you should probably consider is if we don't do anything about this issue, our homeless population goes up and the tax burden goes up. Now, if you think about the positive side, if we do something about this issue, we end up with children that have families, somewhere to go for the holidays, somewhere to go when they get out of high school and go through college. They can go home and do their laundry. They can do the simple things that we all take for granted. Also, many of these kids end up with PTSD after they age out. and if we start adopting or we start helping out the system a little bit and take some burden off of the government, we end up helping a lot of these children that end up depressed or suicidal or have the PTSD. A lot of parents, a lot of want-to-be parents, they feel like if they adopt a baby, they have a better chance for bonding. Well, the thing is that it doesn't really matter the age of the child. If the child is a teenager or a child is a young baby, they want a family. They don't want to stay in foster care forever. So many people say that they want to adopt a baby because they want somebody that will bond with them. And you won't have that issue with a child either. They will love you and appreciate you, and they will remember what you did for them. So when it comes to adoption, it's not that expensive, and it doesn't matter the age of the child. It's very positive for you to do. In fact, you'd be like a hero. So with this, I've discussed the positives and the negatives to our foster care system, if we support it or if we just totally ignore it altogether. There's some things I look forward to. If we were to fix this problem, we would have many more happy, healthy families. And in the future, our generations will have a place to turn to for the holidays. So if you can, adopt. If you can't adopt, foster. If you can't do either of those, donate your time, donate some money, and give a little bit back to the children that really need and deserve our time. Thank you.